So today we'll create with 10.22 series, and the subnet CIDR blocks are 10.22.0.0. After this, what is the next CIDR block? So we'll go for 16.0. Then 10.22 dot. Okay, slash 20 we are giving. So like this, we want to create maybe for subnet public in 1A we are going to choose.
Shrikant, I think you are not sharing screen.
And
Yeah, able to see.
okay. So now here we need to make it one more subnet. The private 1A. One B one public subnet. Private 1B. Okay, so we'll provision the resources and we'll check whether that internet is coming or not. All this we'll check it. Rajesh, I'm logging to this.
Okay.
So now we are in Mumbai. Already in Mumbai yesterday, I think we created VPC. I'll check that. So already yesterday in ITCM Mumbai, we have created one with the 10.21 series. And even in North Virginia, we have one. Maybe in Singapore, we'll create.
Within the same region, two VPC can connect.
Yeah, within the region, it can connect. Inter-region also connects. But we need to establish VPC peering. By default, they won't communicate. The scope is only within the VPC. If two VPCs want to connect, then we need to establish VPC peering. So now here I'm going to create one VPC. Singapore ITCM VPC or VPC hyphen Singapore. So here as of now, I'm not choosing IPv6. You want, you can choose IPv6 also. So once you create this VPC, we'll create the subnets. Already 3 subnets are there. For the first subnet, we are going to choose and 1A we have chosen 10.22./20 we are going to give. Then I'm adding one more subnet. Wait, 1A itself we are choosing. Public 1B. So now I don't want to use 32.0 for this. I want to reserve this one for future. This I want to assign for public 1A. This is for not 1A here, 1B. Okay, so this IP 32.247.255 I want to use in the future purpose. In this zone itself, I want to use this range. Okay, so now here for this public 1B, I'm assigning I'm adding a new subnet. '64 I'm going to use here. 1B we are going to choose. We have created those 4 subnets. Okay, so then we want to make it 2 subnets as public means what we need to do? An internet gateway need to be created. So to that we need to attach. Okay, so for that purpose I'll go for internet gateway. I'm going to create an internet gateway here. I'm giving a ITCM IG internet gateway. . to our VPC, we are attaching this. Then go for route tables. Create a route table. I'll call this as ITCM public route. If I attach this one, that subnet will become public subnet. Here I'm adding one more route. Edit routes, add a route. So what is that route is? If the destination is other than 10.22 series, that means any of that other, use the internet gateway. And our internet gateway, we need to select. Then we need to attach this to the subnets. So I can go for subnet association, edit subnet association, and our two public subnets we have attached. Then go to subnets and confirm that public subnet whether that has been added properly or not by checking the route table. So here we have two routes and internet gateway has been attached to that route means it's a public subnet. Then go to actions, edit subnet settings, enable auto assign public IP address and save that. We have one more subnet also, public subnet. So go to public 1A also, actions, edit subnet settings, save it. Then confirm even for the private subnets, no internet gateway has been attached. So here we have only one route. And to another private subnet also we are checking. Yeah, we are having only one route. Okay, so as of now, we done till this point. Okay, we made it public. Okay, so now, what we will do is, we need to create two instances, one in public subnet, another in private subnet, one in public subnet and one private subnet. Then how to connect to private subnet? How to connect it to that private subnet? So now how to connect to that private subnet is the challenge for us. First, we need to connect it to public subnet instance. From that public we need to connect it to private subnet instance because uh, public subnet instance and the private subnet instance are both in VPC. Both are in the same VPC. Within the same VPC, So we have a route table rule, right? 10.22.0.0/16 uses the local router, means any IP comes within this range, because our VPC IPs are within this range, uses this local router, and with that the communication is going to happen. That's the reason even we have an instance in public subnet and we have an instance in private subnet. By default, they can communicate. Then if you want to communicate to the private subnet instance, first what we are doing, we want to communicate to that private subnet instance, what we are doing here. What we are doing here. So first we are going to keep like the public subnet instance. From that we are connecting to the private subnet instance. Yeah, any doubts on this? Any doubts? Okay, so now we'll do till this point. We'll create one instance in public and the second instance in the private. I'll go to AWS here. I'll open EC2. Launch an instance. ITCM. I'm calling this as public server. Have taken the Ubuntu. T2.micro. And I'm going to create a new key pair. So ITCM public, as of now, create PEM file itself. So ITCM public I'm giving, create a key pair. Then here while choosing the network, we need to choose, otherwise it goes to default VPC, and AWS itself will assign any of the subnet because we have no preferences set. Default subnet in any available zone, but we don't want that. Then choose our Singapore VPC. Then I'm keeping in public 1B. Excuse me. So here we need to choose the public IP and auto assign public IP also. Based on the subnet itself, we are going to get it. Then the 8 GB is enough for us. Then I'm going to launch the instance. So we have launched this instance. Still that is in the pending state. Then I'll launch one more instance. In the private subnet, we are going to keep it. So this is the private server. I'll choose Ubuntu. And I'm going to create a new key pair. For both we can keep, but I'm choosing separate key pairs, ITCM private, and this also is a PEM key itself. So I don't go with the default VPC. I'll choose our VPC, and this I want to keep in 1A private. So zone also indirectly we are selecting here itself. So region we are choosing here. Which zone you want by choosing the subnet we are choosing. And I don't want to assign any public IP. But 22 port I have open. And I'm going to launch the instance. Then we have two instances. So one is in running, one is in the pending state. Okay, for the first one, it's already running state. We got a public IP and we got 10.22.48.175 is it's 1B public, because that range we have given is 48.02/20 we have given for 1B public, 64.0 we have given to 1B private. I'll connect you to this instance. So for that, I need to convert that PEM to PPK. So go for all files, itcm public.pem. Then I'm saving this. itcm public PPK. So then copy that public IP. Put the general open. Shit. Put the my desktop, we have that, and I'll increase the size of the font. Accept this, login as I need to confirm the username also. It's Ubuntu. Okay. So now we connected to public instance, and I'll check whether internet is coming or not. I'll ping maybe gmail.com something. If I'm getting a response, I'll have a confidence that internet is coming. So that means uh, with the internet gateway attached subnet, so that subnet has become public, and even internet also is coming to that. It's proven, right? Any doubts on this?
No.
Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to connect it to that private subnet mission. Okay. So but in order to access this one, we don't have a public IP. Even if we enable that public IP address, we can't connect because we don't have any route for that. Because that route has been closed. Okay. There is no internet gateway to establish the connection. Okay. So now first we already connected to this mission. From this mission to whether this mission will ping or not will confirm. So within the VPC, we are expecting that should be connecting. But by default, ping is disabled. For that, we need to enable ICMP traffic. I'll go and enable the ICMP traffic here. Okay, so now here I'll go for that security group of the second instance. And in the second instance, the security group, I'm going to add the ICMP traffic. Say, instead of giving the all, I'm only allowing from my range of VPC itself. From outside, I'm not allowing to give, but this mission is already in the 10.22 series only. So now both are communicating or not? If the ping is response is coming means both are
Communicating.
able to communicate. Both are able to,
Communicate.
yeah, any doubts on this? So now we need to connect from this first mission to second mission. Okay. So now try to understand how to connect to one Linux instance from another Linux instance. Okay. So now how to connect to that Linux instance to normally without SH key, the command is SH, that username, that IP address. It will prompt for password. We need to enter the password. So normally SH is the command, that what is the username, maybe it may be Ubuntu, then that IP address. But in AWS, we don't have password. So we need to use the .pem key to connect to the instance. So then for this, what is the command is sh -i that keypad.pem username @ in our environment. Can you tell me what is that? ITCM, sorry, sh-i ITCM private, I think we have given the name, then Ubuntu, and that 10.22 series, we will get one IP address. So we got 18.141. Okay. From where we can connect this one is from the first mission, public mission, which we have connected. From that itself, we can connect. Okay, I'll try to connect to this, but one problem we'll get is we don't have the key in this. Okay, ITCM.private. Using that fingerprint, it is connecting, but we don't have any key for that. Then using the WinSCP, I'll copy that key. I'm connecting to my my first mission only. So username is Ubuntu, and here in the advanced options, Then in my downloads, I have my ITCM private.pem. ITCM private dot. So PEM we have. So once we copy this, I'll check this file is copied here because to connect it to second mission in my public server, I want this private key. Using this key only, we can connect it to second mission. Then sh hyphen I ITCM private.pem. The second instance IP is Ubuntu. Then that username is Ubuntu. Then 10.22.141. So here also we'll get small warning. We'll try to understand. Here try to understand for the file by default, if you copy any file, by default Linux is going to give the permission 664. Okay. So maybe 6 is read and write, no execute permissions to the user group and others. Okay. But for this key, it's not recommended to give the permissions of 664. Okay. So we required only 400. That means we also only having the read permissions only. Others doesn't have any permissions. Okay. So if you have only 400 is allowed. Okay. What is the problem with the 664 is who are there in the group can get that certificate or that key pair, or others also can get the read permissions. With that, they can also able to log in. That's the reason only the permission is 400. Okay. By default, we are getting 664. That's the reason we need to use chmod 400. Okay. So then I'm going to connect you to this instance. Now I connected to 10.22.18.141 means it's a private mission. Here I'm going to check whether internet will come or not because it's a private subnet. So gmail.com or google.com, check it. Okay, we are not getting internet. For that private subnet mission, if you want the internet, then what we need to do? If we want the internet to those private subnet mission, then what we need to do? Say if we want the internet for that private subnet mission, we need to enable. So what we need to do for that? So we need to enable the NAT Gateway or NAT instance. I'll go for NAT Gateway. You need to go to VPC. So here go for NAT Gateway. So create a NAT Gateway. I'm going to give ITCM NAT Gateway. And in which subnet we need to keep the NAT Gateway or NAT instance? Public subnet or private subnet? So technically NAT Gateway, NAT instance need to reside in public subnet. Okay, and I'm allocating one elastic IP also for this. Then create that NAT Gateway. Once you create this NAT Gateway, go to route table. So don't edit the main route table or public route table. Okay, if you edit the public route table and if you delete that internet gateway and add an NAT gateway, then the public subnet missions also will lose the internet. Hence, I'm going to create a new route table. I'll call this as ITCM NAT route. And I'm choosing our Singapore ITCM VPC. Then create that route table. Edit routes. Add route. Then here the target is not internet gateway. Here the target is NAT gateway. So this I'm going to attach to the subnet with that second subnet we have, private 1A, because our instance is in that itself. So private 1A, I'm going to attach. If I attach this route to this, automatically internet comes to that private instance also. So here we are getting this response, right? If you are getting this response means, who is giving this internet to that private subnet? Who is giving that internet to this private subnet? NAT gateway is NAT gateway is giving. Okay. So now again I'll go to my subnet 1A private. 1A private. I'll change the route table. I'll bring back again main route table. So assuming our internet work is done, our patching, our software downloads, everything is done, then I have blocked the internet again. So if I ping it, there won't be any response. Okay. So now previously who given the internet to that private subnet mission is?
NAT Gateway.
NAT Gateway has given. It's confirmed, right?
Yeah.
So now in the same way, instead of NAT Gateway, we have one more device is there called as NAT instance. Instead of creating a NAT Gateway, we can use NAT instance also. What is the purpose of the NAT instance is? Like even that provides the internet. Okay, say to use the NAT instance, again not from the VPC, we don't have the option to create a NAT instance. From the EC2 itself, we are going to create the NAT instance. So now we need to create a NAT instance. Say in the real time, either we'll use NAT gateway or NAT instance. We don't use both. So we no need to use the both the things, either NAT gateway or
NAT instance.
yeah, either NAT gateway or NAT instance we are going to use. So now in the normal instances itself, we can create a NAT instance also. Okay, so launch the instance. So now here we need to go for ITCM. I'll call as NAT instance. Okay, but if you don't, if you choose normal AMIs, normally we'll choose Amazon Linux or Ubuntu like this, right? Okay, so it won't become a NAT instance. We need to choose. There are NAT related some AMIs are there. Okay, search for NAT related AMIs. You will get the NAT related AMIs. If you create an instance from the NAT AMI, then that will become NAT instance. Say in the quick start you don't get, but in community we got some filters. In the community AMIs, say in that NAT should be there. Okay. So now here we have Amazon managed one like NAT Java or verified provider. Said NAT should be there in that.
In real time also we need to select like this only.
What we are doing is in the real time itself, what are the steps we are doing here.
Yeah.
Okay. So these all like their own AMIs itself. For quick start, they are given some AMIs which are mostly frequently used. Okay, so here there is one in that name itself. It should have a NAT. NAT should be there, and make sure it's Amazon verified provider. So this is what why I'm not preferring is it's not verified provider we have. So here use this verified provider instance.
Okay.
Okay, but it's 2018, no issues. Okay, say in the real time again instead of NAT instance, we prefer to use NAT gateway. But for practice purpose, I'm showing you. In the real time, you can tell you are using NAT gateway itself, but we need to know NAT instance also. Okay, so I'm going to create a key pair also. I can use the same key pair. Yeah, tell me.
They're using for the same purpose, no, sir?
Come again.
Both the gateways are using for the same purpose to connect.
Yeah, both are same purpose. So now here NAT instance also need to reside in public subnet or private subnet.
Public only.
Yeah, in the public we need to keep. So now here I'll choose ITCM VPC and either in public 1A, 1B. Elastic IP is mandatory for NAT instance. Here this auto ascend public IP is enough for this. NAT elastic IP is not mandatory for is not mandatory for this one. Then 8 GB one. I'm going to launch the instance. So let's create this NAT. So now instead of NAT gateway in our route table also we need to edit to use NAT instance. Now I'll go to again to my VPC. So I'll go to route tables. ITCM NAT. Normally we have attached here NAT gateway we have attached. Now I don't want to use NAT gateway. I want to use NAT instance. So now here in this drop down, we don't have NAT instance option. Normally we have the instance. Choose the instance. That NAT instance which we have given, that we need to choose here. So we have here 3 instances are there, but which one we have created for the NAT instance? That NAT instance we need to attach. And these need to be attached to the subnet, private subnet. So to which subnet we need to attach is 1A private. We have the so now what is my expectation? It need to get the internet right. It's not getting that internet. We have 2 steps even behind. Okay, what are those 2 steps also? We'll check it. So still we didn't get the internet. Then again go to your instance. So in the NAT instance, we need to do one setting. Okay, so what is that setting is? Go to actions. So now in the networking, we have an option called change source destination. Check. Okay, so we need to stop this. By default, what AWS is confirming is whether the internet source and request is same or not. Okay, so but NAT instance is giving the internet to whom? To the other. But if this source, this will ensure source and destination traffic is from the same instance it is getting. For the security purpose, this is the best option we need to choose. But NAT instance is a special purpose. Okay, it need to give the internet to other instances. But this option is blocking to give the internet to other missions. That's the reason what we need to do. We need to stop this. Okay, change source and destination check. We need to stop this. Okay, so for normal instances for security purpose, don't choose that option. Only for which instance we need to choose this option? Only for which instance we need to choose this option? Only for the NAT instance only we need to choose this option. Okay. So once you choose this, I'll check whether internet is coming or not. Still internet is not came. So we have one more setting is there. In the security group, we need to open the traffic. So go to that NAT instance security group, inbound rules. So here, as of now, normally we need to open the like 8443 they tell in the documentation. Try with opening 3 rules, 22, 80 and 443. But as of now, I open all the traffic. So now that internet is given. So now who is giving this internet to this private subnet mission?
NAT instance.
NAT instance is giving. Okay. So till this, everyone do the lab. So tomorrow we'll discuss VPC peering.
Okay.
Okay.